Hey there, guys. Dragon Master here. I want to welcome you to Star Wars and Earth Legends episode 7, the Yuuzhan Vong War. So, don't really have anything to say, but I guess one thing is that we are getting close to the finale of the Legends series. After this, only 3 more episodes to go, and I will explain how the series will continue on. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. The new Galactic's Imperial War having ended a few years ago. The galaxy was now trying to repair and recover after this great war against the Imperials. A new Imperial government has emerged from the destruction of the new Imperial Empire's leader, the Inquisitor. The Empire and New Republic signed a new peace treaty. This treaty said that the Empire was now to be only stationed in the Outer Rim. With this said, and they had to decrease their military by half. This, of course, irked many Moffs and Imperial leaders, but they had no choice, while the war would continue on. So with that said, the Empire agreed to the peace treaty. After this, the next couple years were just spent recovering. For the Terrans, it was just another war in the book, I guess in the history books, to tell their future grandchildren. The Terrans were now forced to deal with with the species that had allied with the Inquisitor, the Jarnahel and I guess the Yungar. The Yungar agreed to the Terrans peace treaty and now work for the Terrans. The Terrans paid them quite a quite a hefty sum of credits to more or less monitor the hyperspace lanes, which they're happy to do as long as they get paid. As for the John Hella, I don't know how to say it, but they had more of a problem. The Terrans decided to more or less blockade their planet until they learned to behave themselves. So they were stuck on their planet for a while now. The Terrans put mines in the hyperspace lanes that surrounded their system, meaning that no one could come in. With this said, they spent the next couple years themselves repairing and exploring, meeting new species. Species such as the Yohet and the Huragok, or engineers the Yohend were sort of a trade species that the Terrans met, and they agreed to be absorbed, while the Hirog were an interesting sort of synthetic or organic mix of a species. They were sort of engineers from the Terrans found them. The Terrans didn't know who really created this species, but they decided not to think of it too much, and they joined as well, becoming engineers upon many ships and improving Terran technology. One day in the year 25 ABY, a Terran outpost detected along their borders of the unknown regions, more deeper into the unknown regions, detected a signal, a sort of call. A Terran fleet was sent to investigate. After a few days, they never responded, and this worried the Terrans. With this said, the Terrans then decided to mobilize a huge fleet. This fleet would be led by Admiral Alec Ryder. He was a respected admiral and having served in the Terran Special Forces unit. He was in charge of this fleet, having left the Special Force for more, I guess, Space Command. His fleet was made up of at least 100 vessels. The original fleet was just made up of 20. When they arrived at the last location they found of it, what they found shocked them, and they immediately transmitted this back to Terran High Command, and what they saw was something they had never seen before. Thousands, if not tens of thousands of vessels. They all looked in different shapes and sizes, made up some sort of organic. But what really blew them away was some sort of ginormic planet move in some sort of storm they had never seen before. They immediately received word from Fran, who they had contacted from the Chiss. Fran explained that he knew who these were. These were the Yuuzhan Vong that he had warned them about. The Terrans were shocked when they saw this, so no wonder Fran was so scared. They had always been a bit curious on why, but Fran explained this, and what they saw they understand. This was a fleet that could bring the galaxy to its knees. And the Yuuzhan Vong knew this. They immediately asked this to be sent. They immediately asked this to be broadcast to the New Republic's Senate and to the Imperials, to more or less the galaxy, as they need to see this. This more or less recording was transmitted across the galaxy, shocking many on what they were seeing. Some people doubted, some people are scared, but then they decided to listen in when they received the message, when Alec Ryder contacted them. They said that they were the Yuuzhan Vong and they came from another universe for all the galaxy to hear. He was the overseer of this, of his race. He explained that the gods' wills, the people, his gods of his people, have willed that they must save this galaxy from one of the greatest threats, technology. They will liberate the planets from the technology, and they demand a full-on surrender. Of course, the New Republic Senate says no, the Imperials say no, and many of the leaders of the factions refuse and ask for peace. But the Terrans did not say anything, along with Fran's people. The Overseer was quiet for a minute before demanding, well, I guess saying to the galaxy, then you have chosen the hard way then. And they immediately attacked. The battle was pretty quick as the Terrans were outnumbered, at least 1,000 to 1. But they at least tried to put up a fight, which they were able to at least take out one or two vessels before they were annihilated. And then the Yuuzhan Vong began their move and began using more or less going through the different space lanes of hyperspace and then dropping in all across the galaxy. The Yuuzhan Vong Wars having begun. And this war was the war the Terrans had never seen in their entire lives. For the next 3 years, the war would rage on. And it would probably be one of the greatest wars this galaxy had ever seen. The Yuuzhan Vong killed tens of billions, as Terrans, New Republic, Mandalorians, criminals, smugglers, Imperials, everyone fought them, planet to planet, all across system to system. It was a war. Entire worlds were devastated, or the Yuuzhan Vong used their terraforming technology to terraform the entire planet to their liking. By the by after 3 years, over 1 trillion, 1 trillion souls have been killed, close to 2 trillion now. This is one of the biggest losses the galaxy had ever seen in life, surpassing many wars. The Terrans did better than most factions, as they had prepared for the Yuuzhan Vong for a long time. The New Republic Senate, sadly, some did not listen to this, and it costed them badly, as many of their citizens were killed. The Imperials, having heard from Thrawn in the past, having also prepared a few secret weapons, such as the Eclipsed Super Star Destroyer, at least the entire fleet's worth of them, as they had been building for the past couple years. In secret, the Emperor had these built. This would help them to defend their territory, costing the Yuuzhan Vong many ships, but they would be pushed back. Many criminals were slaughtered. The Mandalorians were brutal, but were able to defend their world. The Terrans may have lost their territory, may have lost good portions of their territory, but they made the Yuuzhan Vong bleed for it. The Yuuzhan Vong paused after suffering high losses. The Terrans even used a Yogg, released a Yogg, upon the Yuuzhan Vong, and those creatures were brutal, along with the Jar Adel as well, and those both species were brutal upon them. The new Jedi Order also fought along them, but the Yuuzhan Vong's immunity to the force similar to the Terrans made it difficult. The Terrans had many of the younglings or students moved to Earth or its closest colonies for protection. Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, and Luke Skywalker's wife, Mara Jade, would be fighting on the front lines. Vader, using his skills, would be quite well against these new forces. But sadly, something had to give. But as hard as they fought, they knew they could lose this war, as it wasn't going well. Vader was currently at a meeting with Thrawn, along with the Terran High Command. He was representing the new Jedi Order and was wondering how they could win this war. He thought for a moment before taking note of how the Yuuzhan Vong were. But then he realized something. There was a way they could turn this war around and start pushing the Yuuzhan Vong back. He then got the room's attention and told them he had a plan and explained it to them. By the end of his explanation, they all had grins on their faces, and Thrawn was impressed. They looked at the galactic map and then thought, it's time to Yuuzhan Vong, no fear. And that is where we're gonna leave it off. So yeah, don't really have anything to say, just 3 more episodes left for Legends. So yeah, without further ado, goodbye.